Good day. This is Lateesha with Soul Spread Wisdom, and I am speaking today on having Chiron in your natal 10th house. So I have created podcasts walking us through the houses 1 through 9. I have also recorded a podcast talking about the mythology of Chiron and how it shows up in our chart. And so we're going to just talk about the 10th house today, if you have the natal Chiron located there. So as I discussed in my earlier podcasts, where we have Chiron in the natal chart indicates an area where we have a real sensitivity to rejection. There is a fear of rejection in this area. There is a hypersensitivity that we have because of an experience that we had during childhood, from the time we were in our mother's womb through perhaps the age of 7 or so. And that rejection in this area caused us to expect rejection or perceive rejection from others as it relates in this area. So if you have Chiron on the midheaven or in the 10th house, which the midheaven can be anywhere from placed in the 8th house, 9th house, 10th house, 11th house, or 12th house, depending on the time you were born and where on the planet you were born. The midheaven can be in different places, but the reason that I say midheaven while I'm speaking of the 10th house is because for the ancient astrologers, the 10th house and the midheaven were synonymous with how you are seen in the world, your reputation in the world, which is associated with your career, typically, and what you are known for within the public, how you are seen in the public eye. So if you have Chiron in the 10th house or on the midheaven, you are known for being highly sensitive. This place of Chiron stands out so clearly for everyone to see. Your reputation in the world. And it is a place of sensitivity for you. So if it's in the 10th house and you have Chiron here, it can be challenging for you to work, on a job, because any type of correction that you receive from your supervisor or your manager will cause you to want to leave, because you take the criticism so harshly. And Chiron, again, is this place where we are hypersensitive to rejection. Someone in your childhood perhaps made you feel ashamed or rejected you for what it was perhaps that you wanted to do career-wise in the world. And as you were just doing what it is that you like to do, perhaps you received some harsh criticism and it wounded you very deeply. Perhaps it was that you love to, let's say you pretended that you were a great singer, so you were walking around the house with the microphone in your hand and you were singing, and then you might have been criticized harshly for that. Or you were pretending in the mirror that you were a speaker, out in the world and being seen, or whatever it was that you felt that you wanted to do in the world career-wise. And perhaps you started acting out on that and operating in that even at a young age, which we often do, began to operate in the thing that we feel that we are called to do early on. But you receive some level of rejection either by words, or it could have happened within your mother's womb, or it could have just been that someone had a microaggression towards you. They cut their eye at you when you expressed what it was, as you were expressing what it was that you wanted to do. And because of that, when you try to establish yourself, in a career, or in an area of life where it would be seen to the public, because the 10th house also has to do with your marital status. So if you go from being a single person to a married person, you are seen in the world in a different way. So all of this can be affected by Chiron in the 10th house or on the midheaven. So perhaps you wanted to be a married person, and this is something that was criticized. So you received some kind of negative flack about wanting to be married, and you were criticized. So now there is a hypersensitivity about it, or vice versa. You were the person that said, I don't want to be married. I don't like the idea of marriage. And you were criticized about this. So now, as a single person, you feel unaccepted. You feel that this is something that is bad for you to be single, to be free to operate in your life. So again, this is a place where you are hypersensitive around other people, and it can cause you to move your life and do things in your life so that other people will accept you. But no matter what you do out in the world, work-wise, career-wise, you are so sensitive to any type of comment that someone may make, or if they cut their eye at you a certain way, you feel rejection and you just may leave. You just may quit the job. You may just walk away. You may shrink away, because you feel wounded and rejected in this area. As we know, with Chiron, he was rejected by his mother because of how he looked, because he was a centaur. And she felt like he looked like a monster. She rejected him, did not raise him, and gave him away, didn't know what happened to him, moved on with her life. So that was the first wound of Chiron. So for those with this in the 10th house, that wound is so painful, and everyone can see it. Everyone sees that you are extremely sensitive because it's on the midheaven. It's in the 10th house, and it's very visible for the world to see. And it ultimately boils down to you deciding what it is that you want to bring forth, what it is that you want to do. And knowing that there is a uniqueness that you have to bring forth career-wise in the world. Wherever Chiron is in your natal chart, there is a way that you will bring forth your gifts and talent that will not be like anyone else. And it will be brilliant and unique to you. Because that was the thing about Chiron. He was masterful and brilliant in so many areas, even though he was on the fringes, even though he did not fit in. He was brilliant and gifted in archery and pharmacy and healing and working with the herbs and so many other things, battle and martial arts. He was brilliant in multiple areas, but he still did not fit in. Even though he was brilliant and people sought him out for what it was that he could do, his skills, his ability, his talents, he still did not fit in. But he still offered his gifts and his services and his talents to the world. And so here in the 10th house, there is something that you have always wanted to do. And it may take you going back to school. It may take discipline and dedication for you to be able to do it. And the people may scoff at you, and people, they may not, and it does not matter what anyone else thinks or what they say. But if you have this in the 10th house, it is about you tapping in on the inside, determining what it is that you want to do, and fully accepting your uniqueness, fully accepting your gifts, your talents, and this love for the thing that you want to do, that same love you had for it when you were a kid, and being able to own that and bringing that forward. Bringing it forward, loving yourself so much that it does not matter what anyone else says. You are doing this thing for you. And then the healing begins, because you fully embrace your own self, your own uniqueness, even if it means that you don't fit in with the crowd. But you are doing the thing that you love in your unique way and bringing it forward. And, where Chiron is with this hypersensitivity, sometimes we think that people are rejecting us, because you brought your idea, you were sitting at the table at the meeting and you bring your idea forward. I think that we should, move the marketing department in this way. I think that we should move things towards Instagram, or we should move them towards YouTube. And you bring this forward, and it appears that your manager is not listening. But it may be that he had a bad day. Maybe he and his wife had an altercation that morning, and it had nothing to do with you. Maybe it was not a rejection of you. And that's the thing, where Chiron is, there is this hypersensitivity, and sometimes there is a projection that we put on others. They are rejecting me. They don't like me. Well, people have their own issues. They have their own things going on. And again, it may not even be about you, but what is about you is that you bring your life forward in such a way that you accept every part of yourself, regardless of what anybody else may think or say. If you want to post something on YouTube, if you want to post something on Facebook or Instagram, but you hesitate because, well, what if they don't like it? That's when you need to do it. Because where this 10th house is and your reputation in the world, you need to own you first. You need to own your ideas. Boldly put what it is out that you want to put out, regardless of whether you will receive one like or not. It doesn't matter. Because it is about embracing yourself so that you can fully heal and fully listen to yourself and believe in your own self, your own desires, how you want to present yourself to the world, your work, your art, your brilliance, your ability to write, your ability to create the life that you want for yourself. And that is the key to healing yourself first, when you have Chiron on the Midheaven or Chiron in the 10th house. I thank you so much for listening. I'm astrologer Lateesha Hinton. Have a great day.